And now, to give you even more ideas, Jared Cheatham and Andrew Brown are back to show you how Laserfiche helps you design, build, go. Curious? Sit back, relax, and get ready for some more Laserfiche magic.
Sometimes the world looks perfect, nothing to rearrange. Sometimes you just get a feeling like you need some kind of change. No matter what the odds are this time, nothing's gonna stand in my way. This flame in my heart, like a long lost friend, gives every dark street a light at the end. Standing tall on the wings of my dream, rise and fall on the wings of my dream. The rain and thunder, the wind and haze, I'm bound for better days. My life, my dream, and nothing's gonna stop me now.
Oh, come on.
Don't even say anything, Andrew. All right. You get your hot glue gun? I'll get this all put back together for you.
Well, well. Yesterday you were so high and mighty, but I knew deep down you were jealous of my laser brain. And that jealousy ran so deep that you had no choice but to sabotage what could have been my greatest creation.
Oh, come on. I didn't mean to break it. You know, I was just trying to use it, and it wasn't working. So I tried to troubleshoot the problem, and one thing led to another, and now I got a box of parts I got to put back together.
You see, that's not going to work, because I know that in your generation, the word troubleshoot just means losing your temper and maybe hitting something with a hammer, perhaps. Wait a second. Why would you even need to use my pasta strainer? Why would you need to use my laser brain?
Well, I'm a little overwhelmed right now. I have to design. Yeah, I have to design a bunch of different solutions, write up how they work in proposals, and then be ready to present the solutions. I need to come off as an expert, not just on Laserfiche, but on other things, and I have to get everything done by tomorrow. I knew it was a long shot, like a really long shot, but I didn't want to miss seeing Nailing Dancing on stage last night, so I figured I'd use the laser brain to try and learn something and actually become an expert. But now I'm even more behind schedule, and it looks like I have a, crafting project on top of it.
Okay, well, don't worry about the pasta strainer. Don't worry about the laser brain. It never really worked anyway, but I don't know, I have an image to uphold. I don't expect you to understand these things, Jared. Now, let's talk about these solutions, though. Maybe I can help. What exactly do you need to come up with?
Well, I have to build an accounts payable demo for a presentation this afternoon, but it's not just building the demo, which I know how to do. I need to show them like an overview of how Laserfiche handles accounts payable in general and present myself as an expert on the overall process, not just the software. And then I have to do the same thing for contract management and permitting tomorrow. I'm confident in being an expert on the software, but how can I learn about all these processes in such a short amount of time?
I just want to enjoy this moment for a second. Oh, how the tables have turned, my friend. How long I have waited for the day when you, the all-powerful Jera, would come crawling on your hands and knees through the mud to me, the pasta-straining-wearing salesman, to pull you from the depths of despair, because
Andrew, we get it, all right? It's enough.
I apologize. I get a little dramatic at times. But I have to say, you really surprised me, man. I mean, this is a great opportunity to display how easy to use and how powerful Laserfiche is. I mean, why would you want to shy away from that?
Lucky me, right? Look, I agree the opportunities are interesting, and I know Laserfiche can handle all the cases, but I actually want to know what I'm talking about from a process and operations perspective, not just from the software perspective.
It's a good point. So I'm going to let you in on a little secret, Jeremy. You see, I'm not actually the handsome and dashing genius that everyone thinks I am. Handsome and dashing kind of goes without saying, but very rarely do I actually know what I'm saying when I start talking.
Yeah, that's really shocking.
I know it is, right? I always seem so together and so on top of things, but it's actually this masterfully executed plot where I take work from other people and then just repeat it to sound like my own. Now, I don't think anyone else has noticed yet, so let's just keep it hush-hush.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Right. Yeah, Andrew, you're like the master of deception, right? But getting beyond that, there is some truth in what you're saying. I mean, I understand there's no reason to repeat work that's already been done, and I don't have to reinvent the wheel in order to become an expert on something. Like, for example, when we go to build workflows for new customers, we don't always start from scratch. We use whatever we've done before as our foundation.
Yeah, that's an excellent point, Nick. I think you're getting it. So I'm going to let you in on another little secret, Cherub. There's a new component of the Laserfiche website called the Solution Exchange, right? Now, it was just introduced, but I think it's going to be a big help for you. When I combine what the Solution Exchange has with these new CPP classes that we're beta testing right now, I don't have to pretend anymore. I really can be an expert.
Yeah, and I'm sure you won't let anybody know about this stuff so you can keep this a secret.
Well, yeah, basically.
Okay. Look, I do know what the CPP is. Like, you remember that I manage the group that runs the CPP? But what are these new classes? And what's the Solution Exchange? But really more importantly, what can either of these things do to help me?
Okay. So the Laserfiche Solution Exchange is a natural evolution of our website to match how our own product has grown in the past few years. Imagine a three-dimensional Laserfiche case study that doesn't just end when the story does. Take the accounts payable solution that you're working on right now. On the Solution Exchange, you can find not only case studies from customers, but a complete overview of multiple Laserfiche-based AP solutions that have all been developed and well documented. There are even ROI calculations tied to these implementations, so you can show the real value that Laserfiche offers to help justify, the initial investment, right? It doesn't just show you how one of our customers has accomplished a process, but rather how Laserfiche has approached a process in a very dynamic fashion.
Well, that actually sounds helpful. With all that, I could put together a pretty compelling presentation. I could tell some nice stories and even offer up some specific examples. It seems like I can at least sound like an expert, but what happens when they want to actually see something? What happens when the rubber meets the road? I mean, obviously, I'm not in your league when it comes to like telling stories and that sort of thing. So I need to show what I'm talking about.
I think that's pretty clear, Joe. That's where the CPP comes into play, though. So originally, the Certified Professional Program was developed to offer a host of certification courses on different components of the Laserfiche software, like capture, administration, records management, and workflow, right? These courses are really helpful in becoming an expert on the actual Laserfiche software, like yourself. Later, we began adding courses on more conceptual components of the Laserfiche software. For instance, capture workflow is something that you and I talked about at the conference last year.
I'm familiar with that.
Okay, good. Because Laserfiche has both a workflow module and an advanced capture module, we're actually able to design all of our processes to include the capture component in a strategy we have called capture workflow, right? So while you introduced the idea to me last year, now I'm the one that's the expert on it.
You're the expert now?
Yes.
I think everyone knows that the only thing you're really an expert at is, buying your suits in the boys department to save money.
It's the young man's department.
Yeah. I stand corrected.
Just make sure we all have the correct information.
All right, but I really am loving the Solution Exchange idea, but I still don't get where the CPP comes into play.
Okay, so we're trying to make you an expert, but not on the software and not on the strategies, on the actual processes themselves. So the CPP is evolving to facilitate this. Peter has created a new set of courses called Solution Templates. Now, they're currently in beta, but they totally complement what we're doing on the Solution Exchange, too. These courses include videos that teach the way Laserfiche solves specific business processes, and then it offers a host of additional resources. We even include sample Laserfiche repositories in there that have things like folder structures, templates, documents, security settings, users, the entire foundation of an ECM solution. Even more, we actually include the quick field sessions and the workflow rules so they can easily be extended or changed or manipulated to meet the specific requirements of an organization. I guess what I'm trying to say is anyone can quickly learn how Laserfiche solves specific business processes, build a tailored solution, and present themselves as an expert on it.
Right. But it isn't enough to just sound like an expert. It might be for you, but I want a little something behind that. If the Solution Exchange and the CPP do all this for me, how do I actually learn something?
You see, that's where the magic in Laserfiche magic really happens. When I combine the information on the Solution Exchange with the tools provided from the CPP, I've got a really solid foundation, right? But when I add what I already know about my own organization, or maybe my customer's situation, or their environment, or their organization, that's when I've got the perfect solution. Now, I know what you're going to say about, pretending to know what I'm talking about.
Well, you said it.
But in reality, this setup allows me to focus on the one thing that's most important, the specific needs of my customer, and then build a tailored solution based on that. The only difference is I don't have to start from scratch when I'm doing it.
Yeah, I think I get it, and I'm with you now. I mean, if I have a place to start, then I can quickly customize it without building the foundation myself. And there's no shame in learning from what other people have done, right? That just means I don't have to make the same mistakes they have. And I think it's important because automating a process can be really hard. I mean, you have to be an expert on the software you're using, you have to be an expert on the process, and then you have to be an expert on your organization as well. And it sounds like Laserfiche is offering kind of on-demand expertise for the first two, so then I just have to focus on the last piece. But is it actually set up to help me now?
Absolutely. The Certified Professional Program has an accounts payable solution that can capture key information from invoices, match them with POs, and even automatically update your finance and accounting package. There's a contract management solution that uses Word documents to build out the proper documentation, and there's even a permitting solution that completely automates the process from creation to retention.
And you think there's enough background information on the Solution Exchange so I can sound like an expert?
Of course. There are enough case studies and testimonials for you to learn the subtle differences between what different organizations do with Laserfiche, and most importantly, why they make those different decisions. Think of it this way. Instead of trying to figure out everything on your own, you'll go into every one of your presentations with the entire collective knowledge of the Laserfiche community at your disposal.
Sounds good.
However, and there is a however, before I give you access to these beta solution template courses, well, there's something you have to do for me.
The pasta strainer?
Pasta strainer.